So now we just did a story. We just showed you that the mainstream news and even the unmainstream news doesn't invite people like me on to debunk, or people like Glenn Greenwald to debunk stuff like Russiagate or Syria, or now, or to talk about the truckers in Canada, or to talk about Ukraine. But these are the types of people who are invited on to talk about Ukraine. So if you're pro-war, you'll always have a spot in corporate media. So this guy's name is Max Boot. And who is he? He's a fellow over at the, what CFR stands for, Center,
I don't know. Let me see.
Foreign Relations. Is it? Center for, what's the CFR? Look that up.
The Council on Foreign Relations?
That's it. Council on Foreign Relations. Thank you, Kurt. So he's a fellow over at the Council on Foreign Relations. And now you know to be always suspicious, skeptical, and critical of the Council on Foreign Relations. And he writes for the Post Opinions, an editorial writer. So this is the kind of stuff that is allowed on MSNBC. Now, I couldn't go on. They're not going to have Jackson Hinkle on debunk all their garbage about Ukraine. They're not going to have me on tell you what Zelensky's really doing about the Nazis in Ukraine. But they will bring on this guy, Max Boot, to say this.
It's absolutely essential. And I think the key here is we have to understand that we're making a mistake in the way that we think about the war, because we keep thinking about it as their war. The Ukrainians are fighting. We need to think about it as our war. Putin is waging war on the West. He is trying to destroy the rules-based international order that we Americans.
Putin is trying to destroy the rules-based international order. You know, the rule that says if you're bigger than everyone else, you can invade the country and steal their natural resources, kill 1 million people, and nothing bad will happen to you. Like what we did in Libya, like what we did in Iraq, like what we did in, right now we're occupying a third of Syria. Which third? The oil fields. Like what we're doing in Ethiopia, like what we're doing in Yemen, like what we're doing in Somalia. You mean like that? You mean those kind of rules-based order?
Why does he say we need to start thinking about it as our war if everybody's got Ukraine flags and all this stuff and we're sending $40 billion, $50 billion?
Because he sees that he sees it waning. He sees people enthusiasm for the war waning. And now he's paid to come and get people to get emotionally invested again. There's more to this.
So it means we need to start again thinking about it like our war.
Yeah.
We fell off from how we already thought about it.
We all stand for this. This is a direct threat to all of us, and we need to understand this is not a foreign aid project. This is not charity. This is self-defense. This is the front line of freedom right here in the Donbass. The Ukrainians are fighting and dying for all of us. We need to step up. And to echo what
So this is what he's saying is we are at war with a nuclear power. That's what he's trying to convince you of, that we're not at war yet, but he wants you to think we are. And he wants you to think that Russia is somehow threatening us. They're not. You know who's threatening us? Joe Biden's administration is threatening our livelihoods. Not Putin, Joe Biden. And he's not going to tell you that, because he's an establishment. Now, a lot of people call him a neocon right-winger, but he's in line perfectly with the Democratic Party.
Bruce was saying, it is unacceptable that right now the Ukrainians are being outgunned 10-1 in artillery, 10-1. They are losing over 100 soldiers a day. The United States has not seen those kinds of losses since World War II. The Ukrainians are willing to fight. They are willing to die. They are defending their land. They are standing up to one of the most evil dictators in the world, but they don't have the weapons they need to get the job done. They have just enough to prevent a Russian victory, but they don't have enough to defeat the Russians, to win for Ukraine.
And the reason why they don't have enough weapons to defeat Russia is because they are never going to defeat Russia. And so him saying that if we just gave them enough weapons, they could defeat Russia. They are never going to defeat Russia, ever. And everyone knows that. And he knows it too. But he's what they call a paid liar. He sounds like a used weapons car salesman.
Yes.
Here we go.
That is unacceptable. All of us need to step up. The Europeans in particular, as Joe suggested, because they are doing less than we are. But we need to step up, too. We're not providing Gray Eagle drones that the Ukrainians need. We're not providing as many multiple launch rocket systems as they need. All of us collectively can be and should be doing more, because we need to understand this is our fight that the Ukrainians are on the front lines of.
Nick Cruz says, you're just a weapon salesman. Advocate for peace, you psychopath. So he's advocating giving more arms to these people, which are the Nazis in Ukraine.
Nazis are our only hope, Jimmy.
That's right. Literal. I'm not making that up. And this guy tweets out, "Wait a second, I've seen this before." And of course, before we got in bed with who? This is the Mujahideen. These turned out to be Osama bin.
Yeah, Rambo 3. Rambo gave that kid his knife, and the kid grew up and hijacked a plane with it.
That's anti-Soviet warrior puts his army on the road to peace. This was our freedom fighter, Osama bin Laden. So we gave him all the money. We bid him up, and now that I guarantee you, wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be ironic if we arm these Nazis? Well, we aren't arming them, and then they use them against us. Just like they did.
Well, weren't they eBaying a lot of the weapons for extra cash online?
So now we send them the Stinger missiles, and now they're selling them on the black market in Europe for $30,000 a piece.
I will say, I guess I can be happy. We can appreciate the fact that they found someone even less charismatic than Ryan Grimm to try and sell this war further.
A guy with better hair, technically.
But this guy is a maniac. I mean, that is psycho. That is so much crazier than anything Trump ever said. That is crazy. First of all, none of it's true. It's crazy. He's making it up. Why? He's getting a check somewhere from the military-industrial complex. Somewhere.
You need to step up and.
This guy, there's people living under every bridge in his country, and he's worrying about Nazis in Ukraine.
Well, is it too much to ask to put a Ukrainian flag on your box try to help out a little bit?
Yeah, put a Ukrainian flag on your tent underneath the bridge.
How about a blue and yellow tent? Is that so much to ask?
How about a blue and yellow tent? Good suggestion. If the homeless people gave a shit about the real victims right now, the Ukrainians. Hey, we're doing stand-up dates. Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, Chicago, Sacramento, and then San Diego, where I'm taping my new special. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets for all our live shows. We're coming to your town, maybe.